hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk, we talk about things happening here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Political, social, and economics. Now, joining me tonight is
Charles Thomas
and
Paget Maynard.
We got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get at it. We see in 2017 a lot of things that should have happened after the riots and all that in 67, 68. We got a little something then, but look like to me, I'm just saying for me, look like a lot of us have said, oh, I've got mine, we got much as we need, what's the deal on that?
I hope you get yours.
Yeah, what's the deal?
It's I think, Ahmad, I look at it as being individualism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of collective effort.
Okay.
And that movie that was just released, Detroit.
Okay.
There's been a couple of people that I know, my wife included, went to see that, and it was so traumatizing that my grandson left, and my wife got very highly upset because it was raw truth about how we were treated back in the 60s by law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
And issues of that nature. But it all related to back to being black.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't want us being black. They want us being who they created. And we have to realize that the things that have happened to us is nothing that we want, but it's all that we know. And we've been taught not to help one another. So that's the issue that we're dealing with as a people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paget?
One of the things we got to bear in mind, and I agree with you, Charles, some individualism, a lot of it. I look out for me, so you better look out for you. And we stop thinking of the interpersonal aspect of it. There's an old saying, no man is an island.
Right.
We all need each other. And until we recognize that my getting ahead depends on you, and your getting ahead depends on me, we have to work with each other in order to help us both to get ahead.
Right. Yeah.
But what we're looking for, what we're seeing, and we see that in quite a few people very much in the open. I don't care about anybody but myself.
Yeah.
This is what I want. I work for this. I don't care anything about you. You go and work too. Yeah, the other person is working. But you were fortunate to be in a position that demands and offers more than the other person. But it doesn't mean because now I'm making big bucks, I'm too big for you. So now a lot of people get into that. I can't mix with you. I can't mix with you. Like this kid said to my boy one day, I have to move on. I can't be friends with you. And it was like, huh? You know? So just imagine what goes on the adult level.
Right.
Well, but see, that, you know, in other races, it don't happen as much as it do in black races. Okay, I'll just put it like that.
Let me say we don't see it as obvious
Well-
in many cases. But it's there in a very strong way too.
Well, yes, but see, it's like I was talking to me and another black guy. We was talking at the Y a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling him that when we see somebody messing up or something like that, we say, "Oh, that guy," and we never come out with, "Oh, that white guy," or that, you know, listen, unless we, but we don't accuse all whites or Hispanic or whatever of being bad. But when they refer to us, when they see one of us doing wrong, or all of
those
them,
blacks.
yeah,
Yeah, the whole thing. And I attribute that to Hollywood.
that's it.
Hollywood has given, and we allow them to it because a lot of these actors, they'll take money if they don't care what the end result
Right,
is.
right,
Just pay me.
Yeah.
And these rappers, you know, it don't
Oh
matter.
man,
what
don't mention them.
It
Yeah,
don't matter what the end result is. I want some money.
yeah,
So I need the bling.
yeah.
So they damage, you know, the women. They damage themselves.
Yeah.
They damage their community.
Yeah.
When a person come from a different country come over here because of what they seen Hollywood portray us as, they think that all of us are like that.
That's it.
I mean, you could be a doctor, you could be a professor.
Yeah.
But you walk close to them, they'll lock the door.
Oh, yeah.
They'll grab their
Yeah.
handbag.
Yeah.
And it's because of what the image. Yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's hideous.
And you know,
You know, one little thing with that, Charles. You have sometimes you go in a store, and I've experienced that. You go in this place because of who you are and how you look. Nobody comes to give you service.
Right.
They only watch to see if you come to steal.
Yeah.
And I went to a particular place one time. Just casual. And I looked at all those salespeople sitting down. Not one came to me. I went back another day. This time, I was dressed. Well, I mean, I was dressed then. I was naked.
Right.
But now I have on a shirt and tie. And
Right.
Yeah,
a
potential.
few people who hadn't come to me want to know how they could help me. No,
See?
thanks.
Yeah. See.
I didn't need any help.
Right.
I just come to check them out.
Yeah.
To make sure I wasn't reading into it what wasn't there. But it was there.
Yeah. Well, see, then this kind of leads us to all these other things. Is that when I was young, which was long time ago, we could leave home and be penniless. I mean, not a nickel, not a penny in our pockets, but we'd be clean. You know, we'd be clean, nice, shirt on and pants and everything.
Clean,
You clean.
Crease in your pants.
Yeah, and not a nickel.
Hair,
you know,
hair in place.
yeah, all of that.
You had to look good, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you see our young people out here, man, pants down, back in, all out. I mean, somebody haven't told them, or they won't listen, and probably a part of it, they won't listen. I mean, looking like that, I mean, that's not doing anything for you.
No.
It's against you.
Yeah.
It's keeping you in that box
Mhm.
that society has created
Yeah.
us for.
Yeah.
And like I said, that image, and we act it out. If somebody tell you that you know good for so long, you believe
You
that
believe
know
it.
Yeah.
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 And that's what society has done to us.
And that's the worst thing, because once you're so brainwashed.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the dress code, if they would stop and think the reason for these pants all the way under the butt,
Yeah.
they wouldn't want to do it. Look at these styles. You remember that they had the mini skirt?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the designer's own words were that this was to entice
Right.
guys.
Tempting.
So now, if you know, and by the way, if you go on the street corners, walk and see the ladies on the street corner at nights, as we call them, hookers,
Yeah.
prostitutes,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you
Ladies
call
of the
them.
night.
Yeah.
Look at the way they dress.
Yeah.
And right away you identify them with that. Now, we want to be respected, but we dress and carry ourselves in a disrespectful manner.
Right.
How could we get the kind of respect we are looking for?
Yeah.
We need to not only ask for it, but we must earn it.
Right.
And we're going to earn it by doing the things that we ought to do,
Right.
including dressing properly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it should be enough of us to make a difference, to make our children want to dress.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, that's that disconnection there someplace, because when I come along, the guys older than me, the guys I would see, if they wasn't working, they wasn't out, clothes hanging any kind of way and everything. Yeah, they presentable, I mean, they had on maybe khakis or maybe some other pants or maybe overalls or something, but they were clean,
Yeah.
okay?
Mhm.
I come along, we come along, we did the same thing. And our young people come along doing the same thing. But then the last 15, 20 years, we get this mess out here, And
What
the thing,
went wrong? Why this happened?
The TV got more sophisticated and more realistic.
Uh-huh.
Even with the murder, it looks more realistic. Even with the rap music, it got more vulgar.
Yep, yep.
And even with the authority thing, it got out of control. And it's a societal thing, but we seem to exceed it. We want to max it out.
Yep. Yeah.
Certain people go to a certain point, but black folks go all the way.
Yeah.
I remember when my kids were coming up, it was some little couple of guys. They came on stage wearing their pants backwards. And
Yeah.
I thought that was going to catch it, and I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah. And it was a group. It was a group that
kid or somebody.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was out there for a couple of years. Wore that plan.
And
When
back-
they seen them on TV,
Yeah,
they
shirts on backwards.
Yeah.
Question for you guys.
Yes, sir.
What does the state, the authorities, what part have they played in this, if any?
Well, for me, I'm saying that if we were still in charge of our young people, all of that wouldn't make much difference. But see, I know here in Michigan in 91 or 92 when they come out with this thing, you beat your child, then you're going to jail, stuff like that.
An investigation.
Yeah. Where you just about, you couldn't discipline him,
Right. Without being punished yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know this guy quickly. The this guy was a good friend of mine. We played basketball together.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 twin daughters. He was, this is about 15, it might be 15 years ago. Anyway, he said that he coming through the house and she was on the phone. So he told her, hurry up and get off the phone now. He went on out and doing what he was doing, working. Come back through the house, she's still on the phone, on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I told you, hurry up and get off the phone. He went on through and on back out to work. Come back, she was still on the phone.
Oh.
He snatched the phone and slammed it down. She went upstairs and put scratches on her face and called the police.
Oh.
It cost him almost $6,000, man, to get that cell.
Case dropped.
Yeah. So this is again
How the government gives
right.
the kids
Yeah,
control.
yeah. So
You hear it often. Oh, well, if your parents do this, or call 911.
Yeah. Oh,
call
yeah.
protective
Yeah.
services.
Yeah.
And, sometimes some of the calls you get for protective services, they're so far-fetched.
Mhm.
But the worker has to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You must go and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
However, unfortunately, the law is so written and enforced that you, the parent, seem not to have any kind of influence over your child anymore.
Yeah, right.
Because if I talk to the child, they could call the police.
Mhm.
What's going to happen to me? Well, you know what? I'm glad it didn't happen, but I would have loved to see what goes down if my child were to call 911 if I give them a whooping. Because I don't whoop you for the sake of whooping you.
Yeah.
But when you get it, you deserved it.
Right. And
You
you
know?
explain to them why they get it.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
And what we got to understand, when I can't discipline the child here, when he leaves the house and go out, he is going to think that nobody could discipline him.
Mhm.
And then he does what he wants, and then the authorities, come in, swoop him up, throw him in jail.
Mhm.
I'm trying to avoid that type of behavior. My boys, my grandsons, they know Daddy is raising young gentlemen.
Mhm.
And they know I don't accept outside of that,
Well, see,
wherever they are.
right. Well, see, the thing is that now we've got, and I don't know how long it's been. I know 3 years ago I was reading in the newspaper that 72% of all kids were being born. That's 3 or 4 years ago. 72% of kids born then out of wedlock. So, and I don't know what it was before then, but I know a whole bunch of kids, only one parent, only one parent.
And you know something, Ahmad? Most of it, we have the higher percentage.
Yeah,
Well, the highest percentage of all the classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that only comes because we refuse to be a community.
That's it.
If you would take responsibility, if you believe in everything that you preach or that you practice, as a parent from the Bible, and be responsible for your actions and commit to building a community, an environment that is conducive to your children, then I think your children will respect you. But when you got to go to the man to get toilet paper and personal items, woman, and everybody you go to, they're from out of the country, they're immigrants, or they're man, white man, and you have nothing, and your children see that you have nothing, so they don't have no respect for you.
Because they look at the neighbor down the road. Look how they have this.
Yeah.
And they're comparing. So they get out there, and it's easier now to get them into the wrong thing.
Right.
Probably becoming mules for some guy who wants to get his stuff
Carry
over the
drugs
street.
on the other side of town.
And poor kid sometimes doesn't even know what he's carrying.
Yeah.
But then he gets a couple dollars from this guy or some little favors, and this person now becomes the star in his life. And we got to watch that because we are really and truly preparing our kids for disaster.
Failure.
And when that happens, it's not just them, but when you take the whole thing, we are on a road to disaster in the whole country.
Well, we all go ahead.
But that comes along with building a community.
Yes.
Because by building a community, there's a lot of residual positives that come
Yes.
from that. Respect.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Respect yourself so other people can
Yep.
respect you.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's-
something we need to say. Train up the child in the way he should go.
Yeah.
See? Not the way of out there, the way he should go.
Right.
And if every household does that, then you know what's going to happen? All the children going to go straight.
Right.
So now when they come and have children, they're going to have something, like you say, some residual to pass on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We don't have it now.
You don't have it now. You got a blank.
Yeah. So here we are in 217. We at the end of the line, way back at the end of the line, and we've got young people out here who just who refuse to listen to somebody who's older. They go, "Oh man," so with that, how can we break into that?
It's gonna take some work, but it's gonna take commitment, and it's gonna take everybody's got to be on the same page. And those that are not on the same page, they got to see progress of those people that are on the same page. So if you wanna, you got to start with yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Once you develop respect for yourself, and you don't realize people are watching you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And other communities are watching you.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you lift yourself up, you lifting everybody else up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way we got to start thinking. And we got to drop that individualism, that thinking from we've been institutionalized as a people. We got to break those chains of institution by somebody else. We got to find out who we are as a people and what we can take and what we can't take. We've had so many leaders in the past that has told us nothing but the truth, and they didn't happen to us by accident.
Right.
They were picked from among us to be leaders. But if you don't listen to the leadership,
Right.
then you're going to get duped.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And we really have.
And as a people, we are ignorant to listen to people of our own kind. But
Yeah.
we listen to a stranger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But if you say something, oh, the heck, you don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I like what that Mexican says.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like what that Arab is
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ahmad just talk about, they say, "Oh, you're old."
Yeah.
Well, I could tell them this. This a word for these youngsters. Yeah, we are old, but we went through
Yeah.
the fires.
Yeah.
We went through the floods.
Yeah.
Been
We
tried.
know
Yeah.
from experience what it's like.
Yeah.
And we are passing on something to you to avoid you having to go through the same
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Something that can lift you up
Yeah.
and make you more than I was.
Right.
Now, I remember I was teaching school back in the islands. This guy used to say to me, "Maynard, how would you feel when such and such and such and such, these little boys, if they come up and go on and go past ahead of you academically?" I'm not worried about that. I never was. You see, my role as a teacher was to help you to maximize your potential,
Right.
to optimize. I want you to be the best you can be. I don't care if you went on and get a PhD. Then I should be happy. And when the student could surpass the teacher, you know you did a good job.
Yeah.
Did it-
Yeah.
And we want our youngsters today to realize we are not saying things to keep them back,
No.
but to help to propel them
Right.
forward
To grow.
so
Yeah.
that they can elevate
Yeah.
and be the people they want to and ought to be.
Yeah, yeah. And I think another thing too that's very important to me that I've been dealing with for the last 4 years. I know that I read the Bible a lot. I read the Torah a lot, and I think what's missing is that I believe what Abraham was blessed with was a covenant, and he said, if you follow these instructions, I'll make you. Nations will borrow from
Right.
you, but you pass this down from generation
Yep.
to generation. Don't deviate from this covenant. Follow these instructions,
Yep.
and I'll bless you. If you get away from them covenants, I'm gonna curse you. So why would you teach somebody other than that? If you're teaching somebody religion and not teaching them the essence of the covenant, then what you're teaching them is you're gonna be doomed. You're gonna be stagnant.
Yeah.
You're gonna be cursed. So if we can get back under the basic covenant that God has put out there for man, then man can deal with man
You're right.
and be at peace with
Yeah,
itself
yeah.
and with the universe. But if you're trying to follow and fix a religion, then you're going to be off the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why each one of y'all, why do you think we got so far off the path then?
It was intentionally. Because I think that, this is just me.
Okay.
I'm just speaking.
Okay.
I think we are the children of Adam.
Okay.
And somebody else knew who we were.
Okay.
So in order for them to get what we had, they had to get us out of the garden.
Okay.
And so once they get us out of the garden, they can ramshack and take all of our inheritance.
Okay.
So until you get back unto the path of righteousness, which is living according to the covenant that was given to Abraham,
Okay.
that was given to Moses, that was given to Adam,
Okay.
once you get back and adhere to that way of life, not religion, go back to that way of life, then the universe is obligated to assist you in whatever you want. But if you get into a religion, all these different religions, then God is not obligated to help you because he didn't create religion. Man created religion. So I think that's how we got off the path. We are the children of Adam.
You were saying, Badger?
For one, I think it's intentional. And you can, Charles dealt some of the spiritual side and thing. But yes, there's a being who doesn't want to see you doing good. That's Satan. I mean, we face facts. Satan gonna try to mess up anything God has for our benefit.
Right. You promised.
All right? And it goes into using.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.